Today we're going to talk about the most closed country on the planet. You'd be surprised at how royal the local elite of North Korea lives, that they create special female pleasure brigades to cater to their needs, while the majority of the population is forced to work without days off under the threat of corporal punishment. The state known as Untouched has only 28 internet portals, to which access is granted only after special approval. Under these conditions, watching videos on YouTube becomes an unattainable dream. The rulers of this country are revered as deities to whom citizens are obliged to pay deep respect, bowing daily in prayer before their statues and decorating them with flowers. Any other religious beliefs are strictly forbidden in this place. Try to imagine your life in North Korea. Only 3 TV channels will be available to your attention, with 2 of them only operating on weekends. These channels are under strict government supervision and are solely for the dissemination of the country's ideology. One channel is dedicated to public service and ideological broadcasts, while the other deals with news that revolves around praising the leader and criticizing outside the state. Residents have no opportunity for leisure, being obliged to work without a break for 70 days. In order to be allowed a day or week of leisure, 6 days must be worked and the 7th must be devoted to socially useful labor, which also includes the pleasure brigades. But we will talk about that near the end of the video. Stay tuned. Focus all your attention on the story. The authorities exercise pervasive control over all media, severely limiting contact with the outside world and ensuring that the information citizens encounter toes the state line. The internet is strictly filtered and television programs are regulated at the state level, further increasing the isolation of the population and narrowing their view of global events. The isolated North Korea, often referred to as a hermit nation, has a system of collective responsibility known for its brutality. Under the 3-generation rule, the crime of one family member carries consequences not only for himself or herself, but also for the next 3 generations of his or her lineage, emphasizing the severity of punishment for acts considered treason against the state. The issue of military service occupies a special place in the lives of North Koreans, where military and educational institutions are closely linked, reflecting the country's priorities and social hierarchy. Comprehensive military training for men and women emphasizes the government's focus on military might and loyalty. Compulsory military service has a significant impact on the life path of young people, influencing their educational process and future career opportunities. The educational program is structured to support the ideology of the state, including both standard academic disciplines and intensive ideological training. The length of military service is 10 years for men with a basic education and 7 years for women. Since 2015, the service period has been reduced by 5 years for students who entered university and obtained a bachelor's degree. Those who have received scholarships are required to serve for 3 years, which explains the country's high number of armed forces in relation to its population. For every 1,000 residents, there are 47 active military personnel, totaling 190,000, as well as 63,000 armored vehicles. By comparison, the United States has 5 active military personnel per 1,000 population, and Russia has 10. North Korea also has paramilitary youth units, including the Red Youth Guard, formed from 15-17-year-olds in 1970, and the Red Militia, which has about 1.5 million reservists. The presence of such a crowded army plays a key role in the structure of North Korean society, influencing all areas of life, from the educational process to career opportunities. Despite such extensive challenges, the state machine continues to keep its citizens in line through propaganda, information dominance, and a rigid social hierarchy known as the Sunbun system. This stratification system categorizes citizens based on perceived loyalty to the government, determining their opportunities for education, employment, and access to basic life-sustaining resources. North Korea's educational system aims not only to impart academic knowledge, but also to foster an unbreakable respect for the Kim dynasty and the Workers' Party Charter. From an early age, citizens are exposed to materials that praise their leaders and criticize external enemies, particularly the United States and South Korea. The country's internet is tightly controlled, with most residents only accessing an internal network with government-approved content. Television and radio programs are also regulated to conform to government policy and promote ideology. This comprehensive censorship of information helps maintain the regime's power by limiting citizens' access to alternative views and shaping their perception of the world from childhood. The population control system begins at a young age in educational institutions, where students are instilled with loyalty to the government through rigorous education. The school curriculum includes 171 hours devoted to learning about the merits of leadership, and children are introduced to stories about Kim Il-sung and his family. Students and teachers are forbidden to leave the school grounds, where they are required to spend time together, including shared meals. The schools are strictly supervised, with students required to report any breach of discipline. Only government-approved songs are allowed in the repertoire, and participation in forced labor becomes mandatory twice a week. Even the youngest children are sent to community service by transporting them by bus. North Korean society has a unique caste system called the Sonbun, which categorically divides the population into loyalty and hostility groups, forming 3 distinct castes based on ancestry, heredity, and socio-political aspects over which the individual has no control. These distinctions fundamentally determine all spheres of human life. Unhappily, those who fall into the enemy category may be sent to forced labor or detention camps. Already from the younger years in educational institutions, children are strictly supervised, and based on their behavior and successes, their future destiny within the caste system is shaped, determining their place in the social hierarchy. Belonging to a privileged caste guarantees greater educational opportunities for the family. This system raises many questions, but what follows is an even more surprising fact about life in North Korea. Much of what is known about the country reaches the outside world thanks to the brave refugees who manage to cross the heavily guarded borders. Sometimes, thanks to the efforts and vigilance of journalists from neighboring countries, new details about life in the country can be revealed. For example, South Korean journalists, who are relentless in their search for sensations, have revealed that Kim Jong-un has resumed a long and notorious tradition established by his father and grandfather, the creation of a pleasure squad. The squad, founded in 1978, originally consisted of some 2,000 young women and girls trained to provide entertainment and massages to the country's top leadership. Today, recruiters have once again intensified their search across the country to staff this so-called Konjo platoon. Beneath the grandiose and pompous name lies a squad whose members are supposed to entertain not only Kim Jong-un, but also high-ranking government and military officials. Kim Jong-un, the son of Kim Il-sung, the founder of the North Korean state, inherited this tradition from his father. Upon ascending to the throne in 2011, Kim Jong-un initially disbanded the amusement squad, but soon relaunched it. The favorite leader reportedly demands new recruits by choosing among the country's most attractive girls, who are then passed on to high-ranking officials. Army recruiters are scouring the country in search of girls for the new leader's squad, following strict criteria. Candidates must be young, tall, at least 170 centimeters, and virgins. According to South Korean newspaper Chosun Ilbo, the girls are selected and forced to sign a non-disclosure agreement in exchange for money and gifts. Allegedly, the entertainment squad consists of young girls 15 to 17 years old who are sent for training under the pretext of serving the state, during which a doctor certifies that they are healthy and virginal. Candidates undergo rigorous selection and training before officially joining the so-called Kippon-ho, which can be translated as Joy Brigade. It is rumored to be divided into 3 blocks, with only the first block being selected directly for Kim Jong-un. The girls in the second unit give massages to Kim and other dignitaries, while the third unit does dancing, both traditional and otherwise. After completing their service and returning to their hometowns, the girls providing entertainment each received $4,000. All members of the so-called pleasure squad received gifts, appliances, and lived lavish lifestyles in gratitude for their services. When they turned 22 or 25, they married high-ranking army generals in appreciation for their loyalty to the chief. A former member of an elite unit known as Pyongyang, who defected to South Korea, shared that she was assigned to be Kim Jong-un's maid at the age of 15. Similar claims have been made by other defectors. Of the 2,000 selected candidates, who undergo training that includes both military skills and the ability to provide a variety of services to men, some end up also serving as personal guards for the head of state. Selected girls are given the honor of serving the leader himself, a testament to the high demands placed on their selection. Recruiters from the pleasure squad, also referred to as the Python of Happiness, or Kaipon Ho, search the entire country for ideal candidates in the 22 to 25 age range, as older women are considered unsuitable for the leader's tasks. These girls often become the wives of North Korea's upper class, and their spouses are sometimes not even aware of their backgrounds. Myung also mentioned that since Kim Jong-un took office, no candidate under 165 centimeters tall has been selected for the pleasure squad. The 50 most qualified girls and 15 children are chosen from all over the country to become Kim's personal servants. Myung was forced to take a bloody loyalty oath using blood from her finger. Kim Jong-un has been head of state for more than a decade, but his wife was only introduced to the public in 2012. According to rumors, the couple has 2 daughters and a son. Thanks to the First Lady's influence, North Korea has introduced some relaxations for women, including allowing the use of bicycles. However, she failed to influence the policy of compulsory military service for all citizens of the country. I hope this video was of interest to you. If it was, don't forget to subscribe, leave a like, and share the link to my video with your friends. Take care of yourself. Thank you very much and see you soon.